What is up, my dudes? Cheap bastard talking to ya, and for today's video I bought this Xeon E3-1280 from AliExpress for 43 euros, but since then the price of these skyrocketed to a mind-blowing 58 euros. Anyways, I'll compare this processor to a more expensive i7-2700K, which has the same specs, and since I don't have that i7 anymore, I'll use the results from my previous video about it. So, let's start the tests by diving to the CSGO benchmarks. And as we can see, the difference between these CPUs is minimal, using 1080p low settings. And on GTA 5 I tried interviewing Trevor. Here's the hidden camera footage of what he said. Anyways, the Xeon performed really well and I got these benchmark numbers on 1080p ultra settings. Moving on to Overwatch, the Xeon somehow managed to get way more FPS than i7 did. Maybe the main difference was the map, but got these results on 1080p epic settings. After picking and eating some random bushes on Red Dead Redemption 2, I got these results on 1080p balanced settings. The GPU was the major bottleneck here, but the gameplay experience was alright. On If I See an Enemy Moving I'm Already Dead simulator, I got these results using 1080p ultra settings, and as you can see from the results, the Xeon performed even better than the i7. Cool!
Very cool, very swag, I like it.
And now let's leave the i7 behind and let's test some newer games. How about a cup of Metro Exodus? Sounds nice, I know. On 1080p high settings I got these results, which were heavily bottlenecked by the RX 580. Fortnite ran super well on this CPU. Using 1080p epic settings I got these results and zero stutters. And by the way, I think I found the reason why less people are playing Fortnite these days.
The east, storms get wait. I hear a footstep. Alright, I'm at the top of the map.
On Just Cause 4 I took this buggy, which has its back looking like a front of the car, for a drive using 1080p highest possible settings. I was bottlenecked by the GPU once again, but the gameplay was very smooth. Oh, and by the way, I got these benchmark results. And just like that, with this cool transition we have entered the heat zone, and on 1080p ultra settings I got these results, which honestly made me want to switch back to GTX 1080, cause I am getting bottlenecked by this GPU in AAA games every time. And finally, on Valorant, after picking the best character in the game, I carried my team like a pro with over 20 kills and these amazing benchmark results on 1440p highest possible settings. To conclude, this processor is basically an i7-2700K just without the ability to overclock. And especially for the price I paid, it is really amazing and performs really well. It would be a great CPU for a cheap mid-range setup, and you can use something like a GTX 1070 without any worries to get bottlenecked by the CPU. Subscribe to never skip a leg day. And don't forget to stay cheap, my dudes. Cheap bastard out.